Young people often ask me how they can save the world. I tell them, don't worry about the world. The planet will do what it does with or without us. I tell them, follow your heart. Do what you love, whether it's art or music or writing, fixing cars or carpentry. Environmentalism, you see, is not a discipline or a specialty like medicine or teaching or law. It's a way of seeing the world and recognizing that we are part of the biosphere, dependent on nature, the air, the water, the soil, photosynthesis, and biodiversity for our health and well-being. And we need everyone to see the world through that lens. My great teacher and my mentor and my hero was my father. Although his parents were constantly bawling him out because he didn't work hard enough to make money. You see, as the eldest son in a family of 7 children, he was expected to be a role model for his younger siblings. His mom and dad, my grandparents, had come from Japan. Their whole thing was, you got to work hard and make money. Making money was the important thing. But Dad loved fishing and camping and hiking and gardening. And he was always taking time to do those things. And my grandparents were always mad at him for that. In 1994, Dad was dying of cancer. He wasn't in pain. He knew he was dying, and he wasn't afraid. And I moved in and cared for him the last month of his life. Dad was terrible with money. If he had money, he would spend it. So it was my mother that took care of the accounts and the money. And after they retired, my wife and I were supporting him with our money. And yet, while I was staying with him, caring for him, he kept saying, David, I die a rich man. Couldn't figure that out. In all that time we were together, we talked, and we laughed and cried. And you know what? He never once said, you remember that closet full of fancy clothes? Do you remember that big car I bought in 1988 or the house that we owned in London, Ontario? That's just stuff. All we talked about in that month were family, friends, and neighbors, and things that we did together. At the end of my father's life, what he was so proud of, what he was so happy with, were his memories of things that he did with other people. And that was his wealth. That was what he considered his richness, and in that he was indeed a wealthy man.